Welcome to this very special episode of Celestial Machines.
Last week, I attended the Twisters film premiere, and I want to give you my review as a tornado chaser.
We're going to talk about tornado facts and science, fireworks in a tornado,
Comparisons to actual chasing,
and some of my gripes. This video is spoiler-free. Twisters is pretty realistic about aspects of chasing and some of the science.
It starts out with a scene involving an overpass.
This was a very interesting choice because it ties into tornado and safety history.
See, several decades ago, people thought that these structures could protect you from a tornado. But many people who sheltered there were severely injured or lost their lives due to this myth. Overpasses can create a wind tunnel effect and actually amplify the strength of the winds.
What the characters should have done is drive in the opposite direction to the tornado, find a ditch to lie into, or a building structure with a closet, basement, or the innermost room.
It was cool to see good use of jargon like cape values and radar images with hook echoes, thanks to all the involvement of people from NOAA, NWS, and the Storm Prediction Center. Anyone who follows my life posts every May knows we really do spend a lot of time at gas stations. Because big storms tend to occur later in the afternoon, and we don't know precisely which will develop tornadoes.
Only about 20% of supercells actually do, so you have to analyze small clues and hope you picked right.
Once you're chasing, it can last for hours as we cell hop from storm to storm.
So they might not have made that barbecue, but they would definitely be staying at all those rundown motels. The film even touches on pretty controversial aspects of chasing.
The amount of people who chase. All those red dots are chasers.
Reckless streamers, swashbuckling from some chasers, and how dangerous it's made chaser traffic.
In fact, car accidents have killed far more chasers than severe weather has.
And although you should not get in the way of emergency services bringing aid to an affected community, it was great to see chasers help out in the film, as some chasers have done in real life.
So can you shoot fireworks in a tornado?
I haven't tried, but even if you managed to be close enough, had the perfect launch angle, and got it inside the funnel, it would probably just make a streak and possibly injure people.
We got twins! Twins!
Are twin tornadoes real? Yep, but they are rarer. Storms usually have one main center of rotation. Twins have to come from the same system and touch down at the same time, as opposed to satellite or multi-vortex tornadoes, which can often be found in large funnels.
So are tornadoes really getting worse or more frequent every year?
Not necessarily. While we might see an increase in the severe weather conditions that can cause tornadoes,
we don't fully understand what the impact of climate change is on them.
Though it does appear to be shifting the region where they most often occur in the US, Tornado Alley, to the east. And it might make outbreaks more frequent. But we have been in an EF5, the strongest type of tornado, drought for 11 years.
This means we probably haven't had any of the strongest tornadoes possible in the longest amount of time since records began in the 1950s.
But we do have an increase in people with phone cameras and social media sharing tornadoes from all over the planet.
So how about the main plot point? Can you interrupt a tornado and modify the weather?
There have been experiments in cloud seeding, injecting substances like salt into clouds to increase or decrease rain or snowfall.
But despite 80 years of research, it's still unclear if it actually works. And mini tornadoes only touch ground for a few minutes. But like the last tornado in the film, there have been some very long-lasting tornadoes.
Like the tri-state tornado, which was on the ground for 3.5 hours and killed 700 people 100 years ago. The premise reminded me of the film Sunshine by Danny Boyle, in which humans attempt to restart the dying sun.
All of this is impossible now, but plenty of ideas in sci-fi have become reality. Influencing nature is one of humanity's strongest desires. So let's get into the things that were not very realistic.
Many of these tornadoes were very beautiful. A little too beautiful.
And here we come to the bane of our existence as chasers and people living in the area: high precipitation.
Many tornadoes are very hard to see because they're what we call rain-wrapped. The funnel is hidden by rain, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
As for their cars,
they weren't very decked out, considering they were mostly core punching, which is driving through the hail and rain to get right next to the actual tornado. Those windshields would have been broken very quickly from all the debris. One famous chaser chases in a car that's decked out like a tank to do that. And there wasn't a lot of lightning in the film, which can be even more dangerous than tornadoes because it falls randomly.
maybe for the next disaster film. Small things I really enjoyed. You might remember a character inside of a building repeating that there was no tornado while it was raging outside. Was this a tornado truther? This was an amusing nod to online conspiracy theories and maybe climate change denial. Doing everything for the grants? That's science and research for you. The mention of chasing being part science, part religion?
Quebec Vortex and I have a variety of superstitions around our good chase days.
Alright, so, do I have any gripes? Yes.
Not enough cool tornado images like this. I wanted more of it.
Obviously, if it were up to me, this film would be 90% tornado footage, and that's why I'm a chaser, not a filmmaker. But the best part? I love that the film showed the evolution of science and meteorology since Twister came out in 1996. There's still so much we don't understand about the formation of tornadoes.
It also showed the real camaraderie among chasers.
So my verdict?
If you feel it.
Go see it. And follow my chase crew, Quebec Vortex, and the awesome Girls Who Chase.